Welcome to Tech's Vb's tutorial series. In this video we are going to discuss about how to create a data connection with a SQL server, how to create a store procedure, how to create a student list using Crystal report, and how to add and modify the student registration details in Vb6 with MS SQL as database. Let us start. Here is the video. In this video we are already added a project here. I will just run and show the project, how the project works. There is a login form, there is a flash screen and a main form and a registration form here. It will add the registration details of the students and it will search the students registration details, and it can add the photos here and it can display the student list in Crystal reports. And there is an exit button here. Let us start with the coding side. First we have to create a database in the SQL server. I have already created a database called MyDB. The tables used in this database are student registration form and login form, login table. The login table named as user master, which have two fields. One is username and the other one is password. Both are variable characters. And the registration form, the registration table have multiple fields like registration ID, registration number, student name, and student details, and photo, video, photo name, and the year ID. These are the fields with the students' registration details. And we have other thing in this database are the registration SP, that is for adding the student details. We have created a store procedure here. The store procedure is SP underscore registration underscore INS, and which have the input parameters as student name, father name, mother name, phone number, date of birth, which is at a data field, class, address, format, image URL, that is the name of the image, and the year ID, which is an integer. And I have declared two variables for storing the registration ID and registration number. The registration ID means that is the maximum registration ID. We have to get the max register ID from the registration table and max registration number from the registration table with the condition as a radius, whatever year ID we are given. The registration ID, first thing, if you are checking whether is the registration ID in the registration form, there is any record in the registration form. If the record is null, that means that there is no record, the registration ID is 1. And if we say it is having the registration records, it will check the maximum registration ID plus 1, that will be the registration ID of the current registration. And in the registration number also we are checking the, first we are checking whether there is any record in the registration table with the year ID as whatever year ID we are given. And if there is no record, it will create the registration number of 1, and if you have the record, then the registration number will be the last max registration number plus 1 from the registration table with the condition as year ID as whatever year ID we are given. After getting our parameters, we are inserting that values to a registration table. The insert into registration, that is a registration table, and the fields are here, which are the fields, and the values are passed in the form of variables here. Registration ID, the registration ID, registration number, student name S name and father name as F name, mother name M name, like all parameters. If the data is after inserting the data, it will make an output string as record saved successfully. So this is stored procedure used for inserting the registration details, and the second stored procedure is for modifying the registration details. In this stored procedure, we are passing the values including the registration number. Whichever registration number we want to modify, that is the first parameter, and the other things are the student name details. It will update the registration table with the condition as registration IDs, whatever registration ID we are passing from here, and the other values we are updating like student name, father name, mother name, phone number, date of birth, class, address and remarks, and photo also. These are field updated registration table set. Student name is equal to F name, S name, father name is equal to F name, mother name is equal to @ mother name, which are the variables. So after updating the table, it will give the output string as recorded updated successfully. So these are the two store procedures used in the project, and I have created a ODBC connection here for getting the database connectivity. The control panel, system and security, administrative tools, system ODBC 32-bit. In the system DSN, I created a ecount 123 as a ODBC. Just configure it. This is the server name. If you are using IP address, we can use the IP address here, and the user ID, a password, and the DB, whatever DB we are attached in the database. This is the DB name, that is the database name. Select the database name next and finish it. Just test. The test is completed. Let's close it. It is a ODBC ecount 123 is the ODBC name. Create and let us go with the coding side of the VB. In this form, we have the login form, a flash screen, and registration form, and a main screen, and one form 2, that is for the crystal report control, which is used for the creating the crystal report list, the student list using crystal report. And now we will be going to the first table, that is login form. In the login form, we are creating the database connectivity and checking the whether the username existing or not, and it will log into the next screen. Creating the table and other things are covered in the previous videos, so I am directly going to the login button. In the login button, we have two functions here. One is for making the connection with the SQL server, and other one is login. Login means we are checking the username and password and login to the going to the next screen. First one is the making the connection. That is the connection. The function is here. The make connection. The make connection is a make connection function. In this, we have the variables here. These variables are declared in the public as a public function in the module. There is a module 1, and here we are declared the public functions like DSN name, username, and password. And there is other public function called ETS login success. That is, we have to check whether the login is success or false. And this is for the crystal report control. And the CN is the CON and CN are the two AudioDB connection variables. We go with the login screen, in main connection. In the main connection, username is SA and password XXX001, and the DSN we are already created in the Vb6 with the control panel. So the DSN name is equal to 123. These are the parameters for getting the connection with the SQL server, and we are making a call to a make connection function. This make connection function is created in the module, which have three parameters like ODBC, database table name, three parameters like DSN name, username, and password. First we are the login success we are assigning to false. Then connection, if the connection is open, we are closing that connection. Then passing the DSN name, username, and password to a string. DSN is equal to D, that is value we have passed from the front table, username and password. Then with these parameters we are creating a connection string and opening the connection. And if the connection is success, the boolean value, that is ETS login success, will be true, otherwise it will be false, and it will pass back to the login screen, and it will come back over here. And if the ETS success is true, then connection is success. And it will log into the, after that it will log into the login screen, that is the flash screen, after checking the user ID and password. And in the login function we are checking that whether the username and password is existing with the user master table. If the username and password matches with the user master table, then it will go to the flash screen, otherwise it will give a message like invalid username and password. Here select star from user master, where username is equal to whatever username we are given in the as a text field. Here there are the two text fields, username and password. First one is text password, first one is text username, and second one is text password. And that with that parameters we are checking the user master, whether these parameters whether the username with these parameters and password with that parameter is existing or not. If it's existing, it will go to the flash screen and subsequently to the main screen. The flash screen, this is a flash screen, it is having a timer. So after the timer exists, frame click, it is not in the timer, it is in the form frame click, it will go to the next screen or key press. We can put the timer also here in the flash screen. Set the time as 2 seconds, that means 2000 means 2 seconds. On click, you can call these functions. So with the timer also we can go to the next screen, otherwise with the frame click or to the key press. Let's see. So after 2 seconds it will go move to the next screen automatically. And we will check that the project A, and with the login we will check the username and password, go to the next screen. If the username and password is wrong, invalid password, try again. So it will not it will check with the table whether the username and password is existing, then it will go to the next screen, otherwise it will give the error message. This is all for this video. In the next video we will cover the registration form and creating the reports and adding the photos, holding the store procedure, etc. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.